Once upon a time, in a far-off sector of a very old galaxy, there lived a king. Long ago he was a good king, a wise king. It was even said of him that he was merry. But the technology that had extended his life throughout the millennia had warped his mind as it had withered his body. And soon his soul grew red with the lust for conquest.
Old King Cole was a brutal soul, and a bloody red soul had he. He called for his mead and his gun so cold, and he called for his little pigs 3. Now every piggy had a razor blade and sharpened it with glee. Oh, far and near, they all learned fear from King Cole and his little pigs 3. Factories churn, bodies burn, stars are shining bright. It's your turn, now you learn how King Cole feasts tonight. Old King Cole was not missold, of yes he had 100 score. The dark appliance of infernal science would give him millennia more. And he would watch as the suns burned out, collapsing from their core. Oh, never to forgive, he would eternal live, his hands dyed red by gore. Factories churn, bodies burn, stars are shining bright. It's your turn, now you learn how King Cole feasts tonight. Old King Cole had conquered and stole the wealth of 1,000 sons. Surrounded was he by bodyguards 3, who murdered for their sovereign's fun. Arrayed in armor black as ebony, it did no good to run. Whatever your task, the grim pig mask would tell you that your life was done. Factories churn, bodies burn, stars are shining bright. It's your turn, now you learn how King Cole feasts tonight. In the center of Xantine, capital city of New Constantinople, there stood a vast palace. Cavernous chambers by their hundreds were cared for by staff too numerous to count, while below, tunnels and passageways unused for a dozen lifetimes sprawled under the city like a spider's web, reaching every nook and lurking place. Somewhere in the center of this labyrinth stood a small, unremarkable room roughly hewn from thick black rock, where King Cole sat on his white throne. His shriveled form seemed all the more withered on its ivory bulk. Surrounded as always by the 3 little pigs, silent guardians who never moved nor spoke as the blood pooled on the floor before their ruler. The feast was soon to begin. Old King Cole had a tale he told to those brought before his throne. Immense and white, it gleamed in the night, the color of sun-bleached bone. He'd whisper softly in their ears, the words were never known. None could tell what was said, save for the dead and the 3 little pigs alone. Factories churn, bodies burn, stars are shining bright. It's your turn, now you learn how King Cole feasts tonight.
Now, as King Cole turned his envious eyes towards conquest, twins were born to the noblest family of his kingdom. Beautiful baby girls named by their parents as Snow and Rose. As they grew, it became clear they had little in common. Snow was possessed of long, luxuriant black hair and became a gifted politician, always urging peace and diplomacy among the aging warmongers of the royal court. While Rose, with her short shock of scarlet hair, became the finest warrior of King Cole's army. And so it came to pass that the aged king, desperate for a force that could never be stopped, never be defeated, never be halted as it marched from planet to planet, had Rose seized on her wedding day to become the genetic base of this unholy horde.
Dr. Hansel, is this her?
My liege, I did not expect...
Of course not. I advertise my movements to nobody. So this is my finest warrior.
Yes, my liege. The subject has proven rather more resilient to the procedure than we anticipated, but rest assured that we shall have the first consignment of rose reds ready within the month.
Excellent, Doctor, excellent. You and your sister have served me well.
Thank you, my liege. Soon we will have unending supplies of this exemplary warrior, knowing no pain, no fear.
What? No, my dear Doctor. Pain and fear are important tools for survival. A good soldier should be able to overcome them, but they must be there. No. Make sure she knows pain. And make sure she knows fear.
When the soldiers seized Rose, they killed everyone at the wedding. There were only 2 survivors. The first was Snow, who managed to crawl to safety, badly injured, though she lost much of herself in the process. No longer safe on New Constantinople, she gathered what allies she could find, warriors, nobles, diplomats, and they fled towards the periphery on the SS Anderson. But they were betrayed. A bomb, hidden in their food shipments, in a crate of apples, detonated, leaving the ship floating in space. Snow called the crew together.
Dr. Lorenzo, what's our status?
There's me, you, and 6 others. But Colonel Chuko's badly injured.
Mr. Greyditch, how's the ship?
Simply put, we are dead. The engines are so badly damaged it will take us 3 days to reach the periphery, and the oxygen pumping system is gone. We have barely an hour of breathable air left. Make peace with whatever gods you have, because we are going to die.
What about some sort of override system? Couldn't we pump the air manually?
Oh dear, manually? Are you insane? We don't have the people, we don't have the time, we don't have the material, we don't have
It might work, but look, we just don't have the manpower, especially with Colonel Chuko confined to the sick bay.
Oh, don't you go listening to that grumpy old bastard, Doc. The medical bay wasn't hit, and I'm so doped up right now, I could work forever. The lady says pump, then we pump.
Wise a man that I was folk, life and heart is all a joke. He was not a roll, his once was pump me boys before we choked. Pump me boys, let it fly down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your backs and break your bones, we're just a million miles from home. The image of my sweetheart's face, it fires the heart and sets the pace. Whate'er the time, where'er the place, I'll find him through the depths of space. Singing, pump me boys, let it fly down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your backs and break your bones, we're just a million miles from home. Along till I top my bed, pleasant dreams inside my head. My pumping's all against death, I'll only sleep among the dead. Pump me boys, let it fly down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your backs and break your bones, we're just a million miles from home. My blood is pooling on the floor, and every second I lose more. But there's so many meds in store, I'll do the work of 3 or 4. Singing, pump me boys, let it fly down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your backs and break your bones, we're just a million miles from home. The engine fumes will scorch your lungs, the smog is thick, your eyes are stung. But there's no clean air left to run, this pumping business ain't much fun. Singing, pump me boys, let it fly down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your backs and break your bones, we're just a million miles from home. The outer hull is shut to hell, the thrust has just one plasma cell. My joints and muscles ache and swell, so fuck the roads and you as well. Pump me boys, let it fly down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your backs and break your bones, we're just a million miles from home. A transport mission gone awry, attacked by cold and left to fry. Is no excuse, boys, let us try. Today is not the day we die. Pump me boys, let her fly down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your backs and break your bones, we're just a million miles from home. Let her fly down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your backs and break your bones, we're just a million miles from home. I said, pump me boys, let her fly down to hell and up to the sky. Bend your backs and break your bones, we're just a million miles from home.
After 3 days, without food, without water, without sleep, Snow and the 7 survivors of the Anderson reached the periphery. There, adopting the identity of General White, she began to form a partisan resistance and lead the fight back against the king. But there was another survivor of the wedding day slaughter. A princess, if you believe the tales, of a world long since fallen before his majesty's finest. Named for the ashes of her world, she was known only as Cinders. But it was her that Rose loved, and it was her that Rose would have married were it not for the king's intercession. When the soldiers came, Cinders fled. She took to the stars and swore to find Rose. She began to search every planet, every moon, longing for the day when the jewel on her glass wedding band would change from white into red, indicating that its twin was near, and with it, her true love. And as she searched, she sang.
When I was a little girl, my mother always told me, someday your prince will come, my love. But as I grew, I knew it was a princess who would hold me. I looked to the stars for you, my love. Oh, my love, as the cannons were a-blazing, I looked to the stars for you, my love. Oh, my love, as the cities you were raising, I looked to the stars, to you, my love. My world was left a-burning and my royal house a-bleeding. I looked to the stars for you, my love. My stepmother and sisters betrayed our world, conceding. I looked to the stars for you, my love. Oh, my love, as they led me to the prison, I looked through the walls and saw you, my love. Oh, my love, my soul was then arisen. I looked through the scars to you, my love. A godmother in white, she came and led me to your crimson. I held you blessed in my arms, my love. Together now we long to hear the matrimonial hymn sung, eternally bound to you, my love. Oh, my love, as the soldiers opened fire on our wedding day, I ran, my love. Forgive me, my love, as I fled ever higher. I ran to the stars without you, my love. Years have passed, yet still I search. I know they cannot hide you. I search through the stars for you, my love. My ring will lead me to you and the life they have denied you. I search through the stars for you, my love. Oh, my love, then we'll finally be together. I search through the stars for you, my love. Oh, my love, right in my arms forever. Your princess will come for you, my love. Oh, my love, oh, my love, your senders will come for you, my love.
Meanwhile, on the periphery, Snow's revolution was going from strength to strength, and soon it spread. Hamlin, Ariel, every world, every moon touched by the bony hand of the king. Their tactics were cruel and vicious, as befitted their despotic foe. But there were heroes. The beautiful Colonel Bell, a tactical genius guarded at all times by her savage husband. The lady known only as the Red Hood, who would use her wolf virus to hack into crown vehicles and ride them into battle. And they fought against monsters. Geppetto, the demon of Aesop, known for his experiments into biomechanical augmentation, especially on children. Or the silver-tongued propaganda minister, Scheherazade. But in all the annals of the Resistance, no name shines brighter than that of Corporal John Spratt, known to his friends as Mad Jack or Jack the Giant Killer, after he single-handedly destroyed a rose-red behemoth. He was eventually captured and killed, of course. But if you tuned your radio just right of an evening, you might have heard the unofficial anthem of the Resistance.
Oh, when the red rose, it comes a-marching, well, we will fight, fight for our boy Jack. When the red rose, it comes a-marching, spit in the face of history. And when the giants, they come a-rolling, then we will fight, fight for our boy Jack. When the giants, they come a-rolling, if he can slay them, so can we. And when the cannons rain down from orbit, then we will stand for our boy Jack. When the cannons rain down from orbit, then we will stand with dignity. And when the rose comes over the water, then we will sink them for our boy Jack. When the rose comes over the water, then we will sink them in their sea. And when the whiskey, it starts a-flowing, then we will drink to our boy Jack. When the whiskey, it starts a-flowing, then let us pour it fast and free. And when they hunt us, they shall not find us, for we'll be quick like our boy Jack. When they hunt us, they shall not find us, and we shall live in infamy. And when my body is lost and broken, then I shall rest down with our boy Jack. When my body is lost and broken, well then boys, you fight for me. And when the red rose, it comes a-marching, then we'll fight for our boy Jack. When the red rose, it comes a-marching, spit in the face of history.
In reality, of course, Jack was merely a boy gone to war too young, unable to cope with the realities he turned to drink. He rarely took shelter during bombardments because he was too drunk to stand, and it was his captain that slew the behemoth, while Jack hid like a coward. But heroes have been made out of less, and in the end, he died well. And it was in this manner that the Civil War raged on for 30 years. The space pirate crew of the Aurora, known as the Mechanisms, had been watching all this time, fascinated. For when you are immortal, a good war is a very pleasant distraction indeed. But it was at this point they discovered something interesting. The Rose Reds were the most effective of the soldiers created from Rose's genetic material, but they were not the first. Rumors spoke of an early prototype known as the Briar Rose that had malfunctioned and slain everyone on the desert moon of Briar where she was being grown. But she was not dead, as the Mechanisms discovered. Instead, she slept at the heart of the defense grid that surrounded New Constantinople. The grid was composed of Thorn-class gun emplacements and was virtually impenetrable. And in its center, the Briar Rose slumbered, plugged into the system, her anger, her rage, her hatred, and her fear fueling the machines and focusing their gun turrets. And this bothered Nastya, engineer of the Aurora, so she went to the closest thing the ship had to a captain. Myself, Johnny DeVille.
Johnny, we're not going to argue about this.
I don't understand it, Nastya. We've been watching billions die for the last 3 decades, and we've been having a great time.
Yes, I know.
And now you want to go white knight over a science project with a broken snooze button. I don't buy it.
Well, you see, Johnny, that is because I have not been telling you the whole story. It is not actually me who is complaining, it is Aurora, our starship.
Fuck the ship.
I do.
You.
Anyway, Johnny, I am merely informing you out of courtesy. You see, I've already told Brian to land the coordinates.
Brian, that insubordinate piece of
Yes,
brass.
I know, and we are on our way.
Well, I suppose that there's no real danger. The ship
there isn't.
or us.
No?
And it has been a while since we've had any really good violence.
It has indeed.
All right. Let's go.
Trapped within the warmth and the darkness, from the waking world I was torn, never leaving dreamless slumber in a mind that's broken and worn. out in the sky, I was happy. Faintly I remember the sun soaring through the dawn and its brightness. Battle, beauty, both I had won. Then a flash of pain as metal pierces flesh, and all at once my roaming it was done. Wires through my veins and my tendons, keeping safe my hateful old lord, protecting his infernal defense grid. Unwillingly my lifeblood is poured. I once heard them say a kiss could wake me up, but I hope my prince will bring a sword.
Take her order in gently, Nastya. Let's see what these roses can do. Gotta say I'm in the mood for violence, and I reckon you might be too. Let's get this party started the only way we know. Gunfire and explosions, that's our cue. Hello, ladies. Fire till your guns are empty, till your ammunition runs dry. If you finish playing a soldier, you might have noticed we cannot die. I suggest you be a fucking tactical retreat, or well, let's hit the dogs of war and have a cry. Is this her? How do we wake her up?
Well, you could try kissing her.
I'm not gonna kiss a sleeping stranger, Nastya. That's really fucking creepy.
Oh, well, try your normal plan. Shoot the machines until they explode.
I will. I will do that. But you know, it worked. Here within the central chamber, circled by the dead, beauty sleeps, inching ever closer to freedom. There beyond the glass door she meets. Let's see what surprises the waking world will hold, as gradually consciousness creeps.
As for what happened to our sleeping beauty, that's a tale for another day. The defense grid was disabled, and it didn't take the rebels long to notice. The Red Riding Hood, using a larger, more powerful version of her wolf virus, quickly disabled the rest. And soon, every rebel ship for 200 systems swarmed in the skies over Xantine, while on the ground, the last of old King Cole's loyalist troops prepared for their defense. And on that morning, the last any of them would ever see, Snow and old King Cole addressed their troops, and the final gambit was begun.
We're destined for defeat, but down the rising by must die, and this I can do it on my feet. The bitter old king and his sick regime have driven us all beyond the edge. We brutal and cruel as we battle this rule, but we learn from the tyrant's tutelage. Now's our chance, show back your pain. We can end this bastard's reign. The battle line's drawn, all hope forlorn. Prepare your souls, there's no happy ending in sight for us.
Hear my words, hearken to the voice of your Lord. The rebels descend, let's make an end of the cannon and bullet and knife and sword. Lay down your knives in defense of your king. We'll shore up the walls of the loyal dead. Spill your blood in a crimson to war with tooth and claw. Prepare your souls, there's no happy ending in sight for us.
Your blaze, the noonday sun calls us to fight. Our sacrifice shall pay the price of doing our duty for what is right. The names that were fallen shall not be sung in ballad and poem for years untold. Let's end the tale, we must not fail. Be swords and true line heroes bold. There's no refuge for defeat, no surrender, no retreat. The end comes near. Face your fear. Prepare your souls, there's no happy ending, no happy ending, no happy ending in sight for us.
Blood and fire rained from the sky, while on the ground the bodies of the dead and dying were used as cover and camouflage for those still fighting. When Cinders arrived, she knew from the colour of her ring that her love was near. Joining up with the last of Snow's troops, later remembered as the Noble 23, a lie but a pretty one, they descended into the Undercity to seek the throne room of the king. What they found were the 3 little pigs. The battle was brief, with rebels falling like chaff before their black iron foes, and then Snow saw Rose. Still in the glass life pod she'd been in for 30 years, and shattered it with a single shot. Rose opened her eyes, and her first sight in 30 years was her sister, falling lifeless to the floor with a bullet in her heart. Nothing could contain Rose's rage as she snapped, shattered, and broke the 3 little pigs, leaving them nothing but empty, hollowed-out husks. And then she saw Cinders. For one beautiful moment, they embraced. And then King Cole shot Rose in the back. As she watched the life drain out of her love, Cinders' eyes narrowed, her fist clenched, and her now scarlet ring plunged into the desiccated black heart of the king. There was an almighty crash as his ivory throne split down the center. And then silence. A long, bitter silence, broken only by the weeping of Cinders, sobbing over her lost love.
Warriors and a king, laid in blood when the battle has done the price of a long due reckoning. Laid in blood when the battle has done, old King Cole has paid the toll of the crimes levied upon his soul. The rebel blades have achieved their goal. Laid in blood when the battle has done, his mouth hangs open, his eyes are wild, with a gaping wound is his chest defiled, while round his split throne the dead lie piled. Laid in blood when the battle has done. 23 warriors and Snow White, laid in blood when the battle has done, fought like the devil in the dead of night. Laid in blood when the battle has done. to lead and a war to win. Put the bullet to dozens of her own kin, atoning for some vast and secret sin. Made in blood when the battle has done. 23 warriors and a rose red, laid in blood when the battle has done. While outside the door many more lay dead, laid in blood when the battle has done. Her body lies in her wife's caress, her face is free of her life's distress, wearing the rags of her wedding dress, laid in blood when the battle has done. Released from her cell like the wrath of hell, the 3 little pigs to her anger fell. But King Cole sounded her funeral knell, laid in blood when the battle has done. Gone to rest, laid in blood when the battle has done. Fought with the worst and died with the best, laid in blood when the battle has done. Cinders saw her betrothed at last, her beauty untouched by the decades past. Then King Cole fired and it went too fast, laid in blood when the battle has done. With the girl to whom through the years she'd sing, dead at the hand of the thrice-damned king. She pierced his chest with her blood-red ring, laid in blood when the battle has done. And their blood is cold. The book is closed and the story told. No happy ever after for a tale so old. Laid in blood when the battle